Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope everyone's having a great day or evening or night. So before I get into the video, please like and all that. You know what to do. I don't say hit the notification bell anymore because you know why. Well, I don't say it much. So today we are going to be talking about things that I want in the Chucky TV series, TV show, whatever you want to call it. Now, what brought me to make this video is um Glenn could be in the TV show and Tiffany could get a backstory. So these are things that I want in the Chucky series. I didn't do a top 5, top 10, you feel me? Because number one, I talk a lot. I suck at editing. I suck at that. I'm starting to practice. So that's why I didn't do a top 5 or top 10, just because I talk a lot. So yeah, one big thing I want out of this TV show is new characters. I feel like we need a character that we never seen before. And I would really like a twist on a character. I would like a twist on a character where you think like he's helping, the victims, but actually he's helping maybe Tiffany or Chucky or both of them. I think that'd be a good twist to see that, a new character like that. The other thing that I really want to see is, of course, Tiffany's backstory. Now, it's different with her backstory than Chucky's backstory, and I'll explain that in a minute. Tiffany's backstory, we kind of know bits and pieces here through Bride and through, I think, a little bit of Cult, I think. But we know a little bit of pieces here and there because of Bride. But Tiffany, what I would do, and this is my opinion only, more so they do a season 2 and season 3 and etc., is span out her backstory. Um, like eventually lead up to one big episode all about her. You know, I feel like that will be interesting, and it would work. If the Chucky TV show doesn't go to sci-fi because you don't have to worry about ratings. Um, build up to that one episode where it's all about Tiffany's backstory. Don't show too much, but has a lot of Tiffany in that episode. That'd be pretty interesting to see. A very focused Tiffany episode, whether that be the 5th episode in season 1, or whether that be episode 3 in season 2. If there is going to be a season 2, we don't really know when season 1 is going to be coming out. The next thing that I would like is, of course, what inspired me to make this video, and been wanting to make this video for a while, is I want to find out what happened to Glenn or Glenda. Now, some people like the character Glenn and Glenda. I'm always, my opinion, I've always been on the fence of Glenn and Glenda. Always been on the fence, whatever you want to call him, or she, I don't know, but I've always been on the fence of this character. I like him. I'm whole admit, I like him and don't. Um, his character development is very over the place. Number one, because he can't decide what he wants to be, and to me, Chucky having a son, you would think him being more eviler than his father. Just my opinion. And I've got a pretty cool theory and ideal of how not to make Seed or Chucky canon, which I'm planning to make that video very soon. Now, next thing I want to talk, now, back to what I was talking about Glenn or Glenda, whatever you want to call him, I don't know. But I like the character and don't. Now, some people may get mad at me for saying this, but we need to have an episode explaining what happened to him, where has he been, um, if they're going to keep Seed canon, which they are, of course, but I feel like you could work around not making Seed canon. But keeping Seed canon, you could find out, okay, you're going to need to explain what happened to Glenn and Glenda. I feel like it should have been answered in Cult, but it should definitely be answered in the TV show. It definitely should be answered, and to me, the best way to write that is try to contain it all in one episode. Because again, some people don't like the character, some people love the character. I'm always in the middle with the character. Um, because and and again, hopefully this doesn't go to sci-fi because ratings. Is what sci-fi will be looking at is the ratings and money. So if you have Glenn spanning out through the series, that could kind of hurt the show since Glenda is a very controversial character in the Chucky franchise. Some people may get mad at me for saying this, and maybe even kill Glenn or Glenda off in some fashion, because if we get Glenn and Glenda, or again, he goes by the two names, if he does get in this TV show, probably the only time we'd be able to get to see him, because Universal does not want to mention this character. They cut it out a scene in Cult of Chucky. It's not he's not even a deleted scene, but it is it is because it's there because we've heard stuff about it that Tiffany was supposed to mention Glenn in one of the Cult of Chucky scenes. They cut it out and they did not include it in the featurettes. That kind of proves right there that Universal is kind of on the fence about this character, and that's one reason because one big thing is merchandising. I feel like that a lot of people don't think about that, but Chucky has T-shirts, dolls, keychains, you name it. Glenn, if he's so controversial, would somebody really go out and buy a Glenn shirt? I would, but some people may not. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of on the fence with his character. So I feel like contain Glenn done one whole episode, and just kill him off because if we get Glenn, this is probably the only time we're able to see him. So why not just explain what happened to him and kill him off? Some people may not like that idea, but it's probably the best thing for this franchise. So, next thing that I want is returning characters throughout the episodes throughout the season. And one big character I feel like we need some answers to is Karen Barkley, Andy's mom, because we know she's out in mental institution. So we know she's living in, she's living in a house. But is she still living in Chicago? If she's still living in Chicago, that's very interesting that she is, because why is she still living in Chicago? And I would like to know, where's her mindset at? You know what I mean? I'd love to know, like, where is her mindset at now? Because they thought she was crazy. So did she kind of drive herself crazy being locked away from her son? That can drive people crazy. You're locked away from your son, your family. That can drive you crazy. For some people it can. And you're around other crazy people, yeah, that would most likely drive some people crazy. So I would love to see where she's living. I would love to see what she's been up to since she's got out. And where's her relationship with Andy? You know what I mean? The next thing I want to talk about is like returning characters, but the way I would have these returning characters. This is a great idea, in my opinion, and will kind of revamp the Chucky series. Okay, next chapter, let's go. What I'm meaning is all Chucky's victims have a motive, and that's to kill him. Because we see Kyle's motive is to eliminate him. You see, her at the end of Cult, the in credit scene going into the house, probably to torture the Chucky head. You know what I mean? So she has a end goal too. Andy has an end goal to kill Chucky. So, and it's the most obvious, everyone wants to kill Chucky in this universe. Karen wants to kill Chucky. A detective Norris, he wants to kill Chucky. So I feel like having returning characters, having these old characters return, they can band together to try to take Chucky down. I feel like it'd be the most interesting ideal for Chucky franchise, for this Chucky franchise moving forward, because you kind of, in a way, breathing new life into the franchise because you have new characters that you're not gonna like, and you gonna have characters you gonna fall in love with. That goes into my next thing. We need no one, no one can take the spotlight that Andy did or Kyle, but we need kind of a character that you can sympathize with again. Like Andy, when he was a kid, we sympathized with him. With Kyle, you sympathized with her. But now we need a new character. You know what I mean? That you can really sympathize with. And you know what I mean? Whether that be a kid or an adult, we need a new character like that. And again, I feel like it'd be the best thing for the franchise, in my opinion, is another character you can just automatically fall in love with. Like, I can relate to that character. Kind of like The Walking Dead with Rick or Daryl, almost. Um, the next thing, I'm sorry if there's a TV in the background. It's in the next room. I can't do nothing about it. Next thing that I want in the Chucky TV show, series, whatever you want to call it, is Charles Lee Ray's backstory. Now, this you're playing with fire because you have so many people on the fence of, yeah, I want to see it, but then you have so many people on the fence that don't want to see it. How I would handle a Charles Lee Ray backstory, don't show him as a child, kind like legit, show him a few months or a year or 2 years before Child's Play started. Show him with Eddie Caputo and him learning voodoo, and um to me, a Charles Lee Ray backstory will be interesting. I would like to know. Again, I don't want to know why Chucky murders. I don't want to know why he murders. I feel like the character Charles Lee Ray, he just has the intention to murder. I feel like that's something that's very overlooked about Chucky. He's very realistic, like Michael. Well, he's a doll, but if he's not in the doll body, he's very realistic because he's somebody. Charles Lee Ray is somebody that can. He don't care. He's gonna break into your house and kill you. If he sees you in an alley, he's going to kill you. So Charles Lee Ray did not care when he was in human form. So I don't want to see or know why he kills. I just want to know why he wanted to do voodoo. Why did he get involved with this? Why did he get involved with Eddie Caputo? Was his goal was to set up Eddie Caputo? Because we all know Chucky likes to trick people and everything like that. So, and again, it was kind of strange why Eddie Caputo left Chucky in the first Child's Play. Just drove right off. To dig, Eddie kind of knew that maybe Charles was up to something. Who knows, right? The next thing that I want to answer is them kids. Now, this is very interesting. Now, this is the theory that I thought, if you're keeping Seed canon, there was two girls. At the end of Seed of Chucky, you see the two girls looking through the window. You see these two girls looking through the window, and they're, you know, you know who, you know whose kids they are, right? I figured what would be cool is, what if somehow Tiffany somehow, I don't know how, lost connection with these kids because they got older, they moved on with their lives, but somewhere down the line they picked up the gene of being a killer. They change their names, they change their identity, they don't want to be known as the daughter of Tiffany, the daughter of Charles Lee Ray. They want their own identity. But throughout the series, you see all these mysterious murders, and you're wondering who's killing all these people. It's not Chucky, it's not Tiffany. Tiffany and Chucky are looking even more confused, and even have Glenn in the if you have Glenn in the scenario again, he's looking confused again, and that's another thing too I want to talk about, which I get into next. Um, you know, and is that scenario of where them two girls have been. What if they've been picking up the mantle of Charles Lee Ray and Tiffany, and they've been killing all throughout Chicago? To me, they'd be pretty interesting to see that they've been killing out through all of Chicago for about a year or 2 years. To me, that'd be pretty an epic thing, and just that way you won't have to completely explain them. Eventually, you would have to show them, but you don't have to explain. This is where they went. This is where they went, because you have so many characters. Do you feel me on that? You have so many characters. Do you need some more characters? Probably not. So you can either different characters. You can say, oh yeah, they've been killing for this long, and you can introduce them as a surprise with season 2. You know what I mean? So them are characters you can actually hold off and make even something greater with them. That goes into my next thing. I've talked about and I've thought about is Glenn. Now we're going back to the Glenn thing. What more info on Glenn? I know I already said this, but did Chucky actually kill Glenn? Because at the end of scene, the Chucky hand pops out and grabs Glenn's throat. Did Chucky's hand actually choke Glenn? And did Tiffany somehow, in the nick of time, transfer his soul back into the Glenn doll? And that's how Glenn got back into the doll. And maybe Glenn is not so nice in this TV show. He's evil and going to take revenge on his father. To me, that'd be an interesting twist to see that Tiffany and Glenn are going behind Chucky's back or something like that. And, it'd be also cool if Chucky goes behind Tiffany's back and Glenn's back, because Chucky has always been using Tiffany from the start. I think Nightmare Crypt even said something like that in one of his videos. What if Chucky was always just using Tiffany? To me, that'd be interesting to find out as well. What if Chucky never loved Tiffany? What if he never wanted her? He was just using her for his end goal, and his end goal we will find out in the TV show. The next thing I want, or maybe don't want, I want the three Chuckies back. But here's the thing, I don't want the three Chuckies throughout the whole series. I don't want it out. I don't want it through the whole series. I don't want it out. I just want it for season 1 for 5 or 6 episodes. That's it. I don't want three Chuckies all the time running around the screen. I don't want that. The other thing I want is the Chucky head explanation. That's a small thing, yet, but it has to mean something, right? Other things I want is, of course, just small things. I want really, really unique kills in this. The Chucky series have always been known for unique kills, but step up the game this time, you know what I mean? And the other thing I want, another small thing, I don't want this on cable TV. I really want it on Netflix. That way you don't have to worry about ratings or anything like that. Just hardcore fans watching a great Chucky TV series, and I love that. So, these are things that I want in a Chucky TV series. I have a lot more. So if y'all want a part 2, let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. 5 likes on the video. Let's try for that. Let me know what you want in the Child's Play TV series. I think the Child's Play TV series is coming next fall. Trailer probably coming next summer. And again, if you want a part 2 to the Chucky TV series, let me know in the comments. I'll be more than glad to make a part 2. And if you want a shout out in the next Child's Play TV series video that I do, which will be a part 2, let me know some your thoughts on the Chucky TV series. And I can't talk right, but if you have any thoughts on the Chucky TV series, basically, all thing you gotta do is say, I want this in the Chucky TV series, and I'll include you in my next video. So, I don't know if you want to say, I want to see Chucky eat pizza. I don't know. If you say that in the comments, okay, I'm going to say, so and so said this. Okay? So, that kind of made no sense. But, anyway, you kind of get the gist of what I was saying. Please like, please subscribe. Please share. Sharing really would help me. And let me know your thoughts on the Chucky TV series. And again, let me know what you want out of the Chucky TV series. And if you want a part 2, let me know in the comments. And if you do want a part 2 again, let me know some things that you wanted in the Chucky TV series. And I will say what you want in the next video. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Have a great day, everybody.